Arsenal are in the final steps of signing Lens football player LOIS OPENDA. Hello everyone, thank you for being part of the Arsenal chapter, and make it a point to subscribe and ring that notification bell so that you do not miss out on whatever we've definitely got to bring to, as long as it is sports and as long as it is Arsenal related. Right about here at the Arsenal chapter with me, your host Abu Kal. So what's definitely happening, and who is this LOIS OPENDA? He's a very good striker. As you already know, that Arsenal has been trying to look for competition for Gabriel Jesus. Definitely, I think they are getting the competition. So it will be remembered that Arsenal has always tried to look for a good striker to bring on competition and make it so it's been much better to make sure that the coming season can even be better than what they had last season. So Arsenal has tried its level best in all fields to make sure they can have this gentleman, and talks are definitely underway, and the agent of this gentleman plus Arsenal are also in there. Anyway, let's see who's this gentleman. Ikoma LOIS OPENDA is a Belgian professional football player, plays as a striker for League One club Lens and also the Belgium national team. It will be remembered that he was born in the 16th of February, and that makes him 23 years. He was born 16th February 2000, and that makes him 23 years. He was born in League in Belgium, and his current teams have been RS Lens and also the Belgium national team. So he's had a bit of Congolese origins and also Moroccan and Portuguese plus Belgian. For some reason, he's got 4 nationalities. I don't know how he made it, but those are the nationalities he's got: is Belgian, Congolese, Moroccan, and Portuguese. So this young football player obviously is 23 years and is very promising. He's already scored something like 17 goals. More than that, he scored more than, actually, let's say more than 15 goals, and comfortably. That was definitely comfortably. There was no struggle in that, and that's why he's being regarded as one of the best strikers to buy this summer transfer window. It will be remembered that Mikel Arteta and the technical director and now sporting director of Arsenal, Mr. Edu Gaspar, are very good at sporting talent, and this is some of the talent that they spotted for the summer transfer window, and they always do not disappoint. I must say, they do not disappoint. So this gentleman for the Belgium national team is played one match. I must say, he's not scored a goal. We need to see his statistics and see why he is regarded one of the best. Now, let's talk about when he was in Vitesse and in the Eredivisie, and you know what the Eredivisie has, what impact the Eredivisie has had in the Premier League. The football players from the Eredivisie always come to the Premier League. When they have come to the Premier League, most of them have excelled. And right about now, let's see when he's been, because this gentleman has been in Vitesse in the Eredivisie before he went to Lens, but he had 2 good seasons in the KNVB Cup and in the Eredivisie. It will be remembered that in the KNVB Cup, he scored 1 goal in 2 appearances, and that was in 2021, so in 2022. And so in 2020-21, he scored also 1 goal in 2 appearances. And let's get to where this gentleman showed that he's really class. And season 20 in the Eredivisie now, so in 2020, so in 2021. So in 2020-2021, in 33 appearances, he managed to score 10 goals, and then 19 goals in 37 appearances, and also 3 assists in some 2021, some 2022, and that is quite great. And I think that laid the basis of him playing at national level comfortably, and also being eyed by great clubs, by a number of clubs. It will be remembered that in the UEFA Euro under 21, this lad scored 6 goals in 8 appearances, and so if he's given the opportunity, we know that he can definitely excel. Club Brugge, he also played for Club Brugge, and he managed to score 4 goals there in Club Brugge in 20 appearances. Then also Club Brugge under 19 Also played 4 games before he graduated to the main club. Anyway, I think he's a good one, I must say. I think he's a good one. And people asking me how much is Openda? How much is Openda? So Openda in FIFA 23, he is 22 years old, has 3 skills and 3 weak points, and is right-footed. Openda's price on the Xbox market is 18,000 coins, and that was around 6 minutes ago. PlayStation coins, Azure coins never go in the PC. That's 16,250 coins. That should be and anyway, let's look at his market price and we see what Arsenal could be paying for this gentleman. We need to see his market value, LOIS Openda's market value. So whether is he too expensive? If he's too expensive, we will definitely rule him out of the picture, because we know Arsenal isn't a club that is going to pay 100 million for a football player who is of his caliber. He's a good one, but Arsenal, I still think Arsenal is not going to pay an insane amount of money for a young football player, just like Chelsea did with Mikhail Mudryk. Paid 100 million pounds for Mikhail Mudryk, young football player. You're not very sure about what he's going to bring, and you pay that amount of money. Anyway, let's see this gentleman's market value. LOIS Openda's current transfer value is between 22.1 million pound to 36 million pound. Yeah, and that's quite reasonable, and I think Arsenal can afford that. But the problem is going to be right about now, he's between 22 to 36 million euros, actually no pounds, million euros. But once the transfers get in the middle, before Arsenal can hijack this, if they want him, they need to get him very fast. But if the transfers get in the middle and he gets a lot of publication, if he's publicized quite a lot, then lots of clubs are going to, what will happen is many clubs are going to come ready to take him on and ready to sign him, and the price will definitely increase from 22 to 36 million euros to maybe 50 or 50 plus, and you can have insane clubs. You can have clubs that are willing to spend the money, clubs like Newcastle who've got the money and are willing to spend it. Then offering insane amounts, maybe 90 million pounds for a football player like him. But Newcastle is known for spending such amounts of money. They spend reasonably. But clubs like Chelsea are clubs to see and get worried about. So LOIS Openda, I think he's gonna be a brilliant one. He's going to be one for if he signs for the club. And this amount, being realistic, this amount of money is not bad for a football player like him. If Arsenal can sign him for, tie him, he's still young, 23, tie him for 7 years until he's 30, and that will be a good start, and that will be good business. It will be a good start. Time for 7-8 years. He's 23 now, and the father is 23 now. You can time for 7 years until 30, or 8 years until 31. Injecting the cash, and it can be an investment for the future, and that's what Arsenal definitely need to do with this young talent, LOIS Openda. So he's definitely proved that he is a beast when it comes to attacking, and definitely can bring a bit of competition for Gabriel Jesus. You know, Gabriel Jesus, I shouldn't say let the club down, but the fact that he had an injury and the club was relying on him, I should comfortably say because the club was relying on him as a top striker, with the other striker that was available was Edin Ketia, but Edin Ketia was not in the position of scoring quite a number of goals like Gabriel Jesus. So Gabriel Jesus being put aside, Arsenal definitely need a wonderful a wonderful striker, and that's where LOIS Openda comes in and definitely brings in a bit of competition for Gabriel Jesus, because once Gabriel Jesus was injured, it had a big impact, and that's what we've always talked about, depth. You'll be remembered that even when William Saliba, I think things started going bad for the club Arsenal last season when William Saliba had an injury. All these injury, if it were not for injuries, I think things would even be much better for the club Arsenal in the last season. But the fact that there were quite a lot of injuries, Arsenal didn't play exactly how they would have played with all those football players in, and the fact that there was a problem of depth, there was a depth problem, and it needed sorting, badly needed sorting, and possibly this summer transfer window can be used as a tool to make sure that things go on quite well for the club Arsenal and sign a few more players. So get a player in the defense as William Saliba let down the club. He's a good one. It was not his liking, but there was no option for him. A better option wasn't there. Then also Gabriel Jesus, there was not that good options. But I mean, Edin Ketia, Nelson did the job, but it wasn't the best of jobs. They were not as good finishers as the earlier Gabriel Jesus. So we could be seeing LOIS OPENDA coming to Arsenal and performing quite well, and that will be a brilliant thing for the club Arsenal, as Arsenal are looking at reinforcing in the midfield section, in the defense section, and plus the striking section. They're willing to inject in as much money as they can as the owners of Arsenal. Stan and Josh Karionki have also come out and said they're willing to inject in a lot of money in the summer transfer window to make sure that they can prepare for the next season and get good results the next season. So it's going to be a good one. It's going to be a tight competition for LOIS OPENDA. The fact that he's still young, and if he's publicized, definitely. Mikhail Mudryk was around £20 million, before Mikhail Mudryk, before being publicized, he was around £20 million. And to be honest with you, nobody knew Mikhail Mudryk before he was linked to Arsenal. Very few people knew Mikhail Mudryk, but once he was, Arsenal showed a big interest in him. Lots of clubs definitely had their bids going in, and they spotted how good a football player he was, and Chelsea had to buy him, and that's how Arsenal lost out on the young lad. So LOIS OPENDA shouldn't be the same thing. We shouldn't expect hijacks of the player. We shouldn't expect clubs to hijack the players. What the club can do is get him as quick as they can if they really intend on having him. The amount of money that he is, as we talk right about now, is not the biggest of money. They should try their level best to make sure that they can inject in the money before things get worse. But so some clubs definitely it can be a bit tricky with clubs. They'll wait for you to do the publication, publicize the football player for them, put him on top. Then they'll come and say, look, he's a star. He's no longer 22 to 36 million euros. He is right about now 60 million euros, and you need to pay, or else other people are going to pay, and they're willing. And at the end of the day, if you're not so calculative, you'll definitely end up buying something that you probably do not understand, and that has happened a lot in the Premier League because of the hype, because of the money that is involved in the transfers. Some football players are bought just because of the money, because of what speculation has been on, not because of what they are capable to bringing to the club. But this is not going to be the fact with LOIS OPENDA, as you already know that he's already scored more than 15 goals the last season, and that shows you that if he's been in lanes and playing quite well right there, then when he goes to Arsenal with those good football players playing alongside the likes of Bukayo Saka and Gabriel Martinelli, definitely he'll have to perform well. I must say there will be quite big performance, quite good performance. I think it's going to be a good one. It's going to be a wonderful one, as looks like there are no big questions for LOIS OPENDA. Somebody's saying, who does LOIS OPENDA play for? I told you earlier, he played for the Belgium national team and also played for RC Lens. Then what league is Lois Openda? He's in League One. Lois Openda is a striker for French League One club Lens, and Lois Openda joined Lens on the 16th of July, and that was 2022, and that's how he started off in League One. And his squad shirt number, as people have been asking, what's his squad shirt number? Squad shirt number is 11. Anyway, I think with that being said about Lois Openda, as he's said to join the club has showed quite big interest in him. I think I should say thank you for being part of this podcast, and make it a point to subscribe and ring that notification bell so that you do not miss out on anything the Arsenal chapter has to bring to you, as long as it is sport and as long as it is Arsenal related. Right about here, the Arsenal chapter with me, your host Abu Kaz, as I tell you. Thank you and goodbye for now.